Hello with a new concept again, production possibility curve. I've just made a diagram just to show you what it is, and you can see that I have shown two commodities. It's a graphical representation of the different combinations of two commodities that can be produced with the help of the available resources. That means even the resources are given and also given technology. That means the technology also doesn't change in the economy. That is this theory about production possibility concept. This is a model based on that. And because it's a maximum limit of the amount of goods and services which an economy can produce with a given resources and technology. That is why PPC sometimes is also called as the boundary, that is production possibility boundary, or the production possibility frontier. And sometimes this is also known as a transformation curve. That means as we move along the PPC, resources from one good are transferred to the production of the other good. Thus, one good is transformed into the other good. So, and sometimes it's also known as the opportunity cost curve. The slope of the curve at each point measures the opportunity cost of one good in terms of alternative goods sacrificed. So, the rate of this sacrifice is called MOC, that is marginal opportunity cost. But before we go on, you can see that on the x and y axis, I've put on the x axis, I've shown good x, and on the y axis, it's good y. And the production possibility curve is when I have joined all the dots, all the combinations, the innumerable combinations of two commodities. Those are the dots on production, those are the production possibilities. And when you join them, when you join the production possibilities, you get the production possibility curve. So with the given resources. And there are two extremes. You can see OA and OB. So if I put all the resources in producing Y commodities, I'll put, that'll be OA of good Y will be produced with 0 of good X. And vice, that goes for OB. OB on the X commodity, X axis. You see that if an economy wants to produce all of good X, then it'll put all its resources, that is OB, on good X and 0 on Y, good Y. But again, this is not a question of either or, it's always a question of a combination of two goods. So we'll go into details about this. So we have, as you said, that we've already mentioned that it is also known as a frontier, a boundary, because you cannot cross it. And it's also known as a transformation curve. Why? Because as we move along the PPC, resources from one good are transferred to the production of the other good. So in a way, you see that one good is transformed into the other good. And so you can see this. And again, I have mentioned something known as marginal opportunity cost. So what is that? How do we calculate this? This is it. Marginal opportunity cost is calculated as a loss of output upon the gain of output. And that loss is shown on the y-axis, so change in y. And the gain is shown on the x-axis, so that is change in x. And MOC, marginal opportunity cost, measures the slope of the production possibility curve. And the concave shape to the origin is because of the assumption that we will do later also. I will talk about those assumptions. And that is that the resources are not equally efficient in the production of all goods. Thus, if resources are transferred from production of one good to another, the cost of production increases. So I'm going to continue with PPC more of this because it needs a little more of information and explanation both. But before that, let me just come to the assignment. You must take the assignment. Let's take the assignment. Here it is, the production possibility curve assignment number 8. So this is define PPC, the first question, and then you have the second question is what are the assumptions of PPC, and third, write the formula for measuring the marginal opportunity cost, and the fourth is draw a PPC schedule and calculate MOC, and what is the shape of MOC and why. And after doing that, most important is coming to the assignment number 7 that I'd given you earlier on central problems of an economy. So question number 1, what do you mean by central problems of an economy? The answer is the problems that are common to all economies, that of using their limited resources in the best possible manner and making the right choice in allocating their resources. Second was to list the central problems relating to allocation of resources. So what are the central problems? There are 3. One is what to produce and in what quantities. Second is how to produce. And the third problem is, which is central to every economy, is for whom to produce. Then we have the third question coming up, explain the problem of what to produce. So this has 2 aspects. What to produce, say consumer goods or capital goods. It is not a question of producing either, say consumer goods or capital goods. It's not a question of either or. The society has to decide on a good combination. It has to decide on a good combination of both the goods according to their needs. Then the fourth question is, what does the problem how to produce relate to? What does the problem how to produce relate to? So it relates to the selection of techniques of production. For example, A, labor intensive technique, using more of labor and less of capital. And second is the capital intensive technique. You can see that, capital intensive technique, more of capital and less of labor. And the fifth question was, explain the central problem for whom to produce. It is the problem to decide who will get what. Who will get what is produced. How the produced output is shared among factors of production. It has 2 aspects. Functional distribution, that means factors of production receive their share of income. That is functional distribution. And personal distribution, every economy has 2 sections, that is the rich and the poor. So these were the answers for assignment 7. Thank you.